It's Friday for me, so I feel like I deserve a glass of wine while I expose myself. What do you think? I think so. Oh, the first sip of wine. What is it about wine? Like, the first glass is never nice, but second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth glass of wine always goes down a treat. Hello, my beautiful friends. Oh, I shouldn't have put wine in this glass. I said I shouldn't have put wine in this glass. I should have put wine. I shouldn't have put ice. God damn. Hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome. Shut up! So, as you can tell with the title of today's video, I've nearly already fell off the chair. I'm going to be answering your guys' assumptions that you sent in about me over my Instagram. These assumption videos are one of my favourite videos to film and watch. I've done like one, maybe two of these before on my channel, but I just find it so interesting to see what people actually assume about you, because we all assume things about people. Like, it's just what humans do. Like, you assume something of someone by what they put out online about themselves, you know? So I'm just gonna go for it. Okay, so the first one is, you've had a pregnancy scare. Do you know what? Yes and no. Like, I've never had an actual pregnancy scare. I've only ever had a pregnancy scare under the terms of where my period was late and I was like, oh my god, I could be pregnant, but then my period always came and I wasn't pregnant. So I've not ever had like a proper pregnancy scare, but there definitely has been times where I've been a bit worried because my period was late, and this would have been when I was on the pill as well. And when I was on the pill, my period would literally come on the same day every single month. It was always a little bit of a worry when it was late, but normally the only time my period was ever late when I was on the pill is if I missed a pill that month. And obviously if you miss even one pill in the month, you are at risk and you could possibly get pregnant, because once you've missed at least one pill, it's not guaranteed that it's going to work and be effective, because you've just like fucked up that whole month then. So if you ever do miss a pill, you should always use another form of protection. Like, anytime I missed a pill, I would always use another form and be very cautious, because you never know. And I ain't trying to have a baby at 22, but I am trying to drink some wine at 22. So the next assumption is, you get tired of making the same sort of content. Now, this assumption kind of confused me a little bit, because like, everyone on YouTube has their thing. Like, everyone, even on Instagram, like, everyone has their kind of content and what kind of content they post, and everyone kind of has their own niche, if you get what I mean. And I don't feel like I do just make the same sort of content. Like, the only kind of same content I ever make and has been consistent on my channel since I started is like girl boy talks, but in them videos I'm always talking about different topics and addressing different subjects, and every girl boy talk is so different because I talk about such different things and I answer such different questions from you guys. So I feel like all of my videos are very different. The way I've always done it since I started my YouTube, and it's the way I always wanted it to be, was I did never want to stick with just one thing, like just fashion or just makeup or, you know, just challenges or anything like that. I always just wanted to incorporate a little bit of everything that I'm interested in into my channel, and that's exactly what I have done and I am still doing, and that's like my personal favorite way, because I have a lot of interests and I feel like it keeps it exciting and it keeps it fresh. I'd say I kind of have like little mini series on my channel, like the girl talks and boy talks, and then the way I'm starting to do, I'm going to do a little bit of a series answering your guys' sex questions. So I kind of see them sorts of videos as kind of little series, and of course, like, I follow everyone I follow for different reasons, and I feel like most people do, like, they have different people they like to follow for different reasons. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on that one. Next assumption is, I guess you are jealous in a relationship. This is a funny one. Okay, so I used to be jealous, like, when I was younger, but that was mainly because I was very insecure and also because I was being cheated on. So when you're being cheated on and things are constantly coming to light, you are going to become a bit jealous if you choose to stay in that relationship and that situation, which I wouldn't agree with, because it really fucks up with your head. Me and my boyfriend were actually talking about this quite recently, and he doesn't think I'm jealous at all, and I don't think I'm jealous at all within this relationship. Like, we've been together a year and 3 months now, officially. I don't think I am jealous in a relationship at all anymore, and my boyfriend doesn't either, and I'd kind of like take his say on it more than mine, because sometimes we can have like a distorted view of the way we are as people. But when somebody tells you their opinion because they're seeing it from the other side, from the outside, I feel like it's a lot more reflective of the way you actually are. I feel like it has a lot to do with me becoming a lot more confident in like the last couple of years. Like, like when I was younger and I would have been jealous in a relationship, I was a lot more insecure. I was like so insecure. And I feel like if you are extremely insecure, you're a lot more likely to be very jealous. But I feel like once you have a strong self of worth and who you are, and you know what you're worth, I feel like that kind of like twiddles away. And also being with the right person, I feel like, is also very important. You guys were brutal. Honestly, like some of these assumptions, I'm just like insulted. Like insulted. Next assumption is you feel inferior to your sister. I was like, oh my god. I don't feel inferior to my sister at all. Me and my sister are very different people. My sister is 30, I am only 22. We are very different people in every sense of the word. Like, there is nothing the same about us at all, apart from like our sense of humour. We have different dreams, we have different goals, we're at completely different stages of our lives. To be honest with you, I never understood, and I know this is a very common thing that happens and it still happens, but when people compare siblings to each other, like, I just don't get it. And I know parents do this a lot. Like, they'll be like, well, your sister did this, so you should be doing this. Now, our parents never did that. Like, our parents never compared us to each other. Obviously, me and my sister have different dads. Just because somebody's your sister or somebody's your brother or you're related to someone, like, they're still two completely different people. So I don't get why people ever compare siblings and stuff. It'd be like comparing me to my cousin, but you wouldn't do that. So why do you compare siblings to each other? But no, I'm so proud of my sister, like, in every sense of the word. Like, I'm so proud of everything she's achieved. I'm so proud of the point she's at in her life, and I'm so happy and excited for all that is still to come for her, and like her baby, and she's married now, and I'm just over the moon. But there's also a lot of things that my sister has done in her life that I just wouldn't ever have an interest in doing, because again, we're just different. So yeah, I don't feel inferior to her. I just feel like she's my sister and I love her and I'm proud of everything she's done. And yeah, since we're on the topic of my sister, I have another assumption about my sister. So the next one is you weren't invited to your sister's wedding, and then the same person said you and your sister aren't close anymore and don't talk. Neither of these are true. So what actually happened at my sister's wedding, so if you guys follow my sister, I'm sure you'll be aware of this, but basically my sister's wedding was meant to be back in March, and she was going to be like having like the big wedding, etc. I was going to be the maid of honour. I actually have my dress. It is hanging up in that wardrobe right there. Had my shoes, had everything ready to go for the wedding. But then the isolation and the quarantine and all happened, and they had to cancel their wedding, unfortunately. And what they were originally going to do, they were just going to the registry office to just sign the papers, and then they were going to have like the official ceremony. But because the wedding got cancelled, when they were going to the registry office to sign the papers, they just decided last minute to have like a really mini little wedding where her dad would walk her up the aisle, and there was only like 4 or 5 people there. There wasn't many people there at all. But the reason why I couldn't go to that was because of this whole situation with lockdown. So basically the only people that were there were people that she lived with, her husband's family, and then her dad and my brother, and that was literally it. If I was to have gone to that, I would have had to get a taxi, then have mingled with that taxi driver who would have been mingling with other people, and then obviously meeting my sister who was pregnant at the time, and I wasn't going to put her at risk like that, and I wasn't going to put any of them at risk like that. So I didn't go because I wasn't going to be selfish. But yeah, it was just unfortunate the way everything happened, but we have FaceTimed numerous times since this isolation has started, and we are still like just as close as ever. So yeah. Next assumption, you might be getting engaged soon. This one made me giggle. No, definitely not. I will not be getting engaged soon. I'm only 22, I'm still very young, so I haven't got any plans to get engaged soon. But also, I feel like I don't ever want to have a really long engagement. Like, I am not going to be that bitch. Like, if you think you can put a ring on my finger and then just keep me there for like 5 or 6 years, you can think again, honey. If you want to propose to me, be prepared to be planning a wedding. You know, I feel like the longest time I would be engaged for is maybe like 3 years. 3, maximum 4 years, but no longer than 4 years. Like, I know people who have been engaged for 10, 11 years, and I'm just like, why? This is kind of a similar assumption, but somebody said you kind of want to get married but think you're too young. Definitely not. Like, I'm so young. I don't want to get married now. Like, that is not on my agenda. I have so many other priorities and things that I want to do, and things I want to achieve in my life before, like, the thought of even getting married. I would like to be married before I have kids though, so ideally I would like to probably get married in my late 20s, like maybe like 28-ish. But you cannot plan these things. Like, you just can't plan these things. Like, life is such a weird way of working out. I feel like this is just even showing us that, like, our current situation, like, you can plan all you want, but at the end of the day it really is in the hands of the universe, like, and you really don't have much of a say in a lot of things at the end of the day. The next assumption is you were a spoiled child. Do you know what? I actually wasn't. I was not a spoiled child at all. My parents from a very young age, like, taught me that, like, if you want something in life, like, you know, you don't just get things you want in life. Like, if you want things in life, you've got to work for it. Like, from a very young age, like, I had to do chores for pocket money and things like that. And then when I was 15, I got a part-time job, so I've literally worked since I was 15 and I'm now 22, so no, I wasn't spoiled at all. Like, I went to school with people who were, like, given cars and their insurance paid for, and, like, just handed money throughout college, and, like, they never had to work a day in their life, and they wanted, they could just click their fingers and they'd get it. But, like, no, I never had any of that, like, ever. And to be honest, I'm kind of glad I didn't, because there's some people who I look at and I feel like you're going to get such a shock. Like, you know, it's not going to be like that forever. Like, mommy and daddy aren't going to support you forever, and, like, one day you're going to get such a shock. Like, I even know some people my age who are still very heavily funded by their parents, and they just don't think they have to work to get anything at all, and one day they're going to get a slap in the face of reality and what real life is like. So I am actually kind of really glad my parents were the way they were with me, because it showed me a real value for money and a real value for things, and I never took anything I got for granted, like, ever. I was always so appreciative and so grateful for anything I'd ever get. And then when I started working myself, like, my money was very important to me, and I always learned to, like, save my money if I wanted to buy something, and, you know, all of that. So yeah, I wasn't spoiled. The next assumption is you love an owl sesh. An owl sesh. So if you're not Irish, an owl sesh basically means, like, a good night out. Like, a good night out drinking. Yeah. I do love an owl sesh, I really do, and I cannot wait for a good owl sesh once this bloody isolation is over. Like, honestly, I am just crying for a good night out. Like, I am so looking forward to it, like, getting all dolled up, going out, having a little dance, like, few drinks, few shots, like, oh. Do you know what though, like, I don't go on the owl sesh very often. I get the worst hangovers ever. See, I think the problem with me is, like, if I drink, like, I'm not a one drink kind of gal. Like, I just don't understand people who could like, go out to the pub, have one drink and go home. I hate the feeling one drink gives me. Like, if I'm gonna drink, I'd rather not drink, or else I wanna have a good few drinks, you know what I mean, and have a bit of fun. But yeah, I get such bad hangovers, so I feel like that's why I don't, like, go out very often, because I will literally be dying for 2 days, even if I don't drink a crazy amount. One of my best friends, she hardly ever gets a hangover. Like, she could drink all day and all night and she'd wake up feeling fine, like, she'd just be a bit tired. And I just, like, I'm amazed at people who are like that, because I've always gotten awful hangovers, like banging headaches, sick stomach. Like, it's not a pretty sight. Like, don't talk to me, don't have an appetite for half the day. Like, in the last, like, 3 years, I'd say 3 years, yeah, I've only gone out, like, a few times a year, because I feel like I go out and I go out, like, I'm out tonight, girlies, and I go on a mad one, and then I'm just, like, feeling sorry for myself, and I'm like, I'm never drinking again, and then it'll be, like, another maybe 2 months, and then I'll be like, right, let's go, girlies. So that's kind of, you know what they say, go hard or go home. That's my motto. If you're not going to go hard, you might as well go home, or in my case, you might as well just stay home, because what's the bloody point? The next assumption is you love clothes but you're not a brand snob. This is 100% accurate. Okay, I was actually, me and Nathan were only talking about this quite recently, like, talking about designer clothes and designer pieces and stuff, and I actually don't think I would ever buy a designer item of clothing. Like, you know, the way you see people like Gucci jumpers and trousers and shoes and all that jazz. Like, it's just not for me. Like, I don't get it. Like, I feel like it's such a waste of money, and so many of the items are so ugly. Like, I just don't get it. Like, you're paying for the brand. Like, that is all you're paying for at the end of the day. The only designer thing I think I would ever treat myself to, and it would only be if I like really accomplished something really big in my life, would be like a designer handbag, because I feel like that's something you'd have forever, or a piece of jewellery, because jewellery lasts forever, and jewellery is something that you can hand down to like your kids or something, and it can like be in the family. But clothes, I just don't get it. I love clothes, I love my fashion, but I also like adore my affordable clothes and my affordable brands. And I've nothing against people who like do want to spend their money on like branded stuff, like proper branded stuff, but it's just not my thing, and I just don't understand it. Like, when I think, right, so you're going to spend like $3,000 on that hoodie, like, do you realise what you could do with $3,000? Like, you could put $3,000 in your savings account to get a mortgage someday. Like, hello. Is I feel like people are only buying them to show other people they've got money. Like, I've got money. Like, she's got money. Oh my god. Like, she's wearing a Gucci tracksuit, but like, that is really all you're doing it for at the end of the day, because like, surely it's not for yourself. The next assumption is you dislike Scorpios out of all the zodiac signs. This is not true. Do you know what? I'm a Pisces, and Pisces and Scorpios get on really well. My dad is a Scorpio. Isn't it a Scorpio? Is Scorpio the right one I'm thinking of? Wait, where's my dad? Papa Brennan is a Scorpio, and I love that man. I love that man. I always wanted to meet another Scorpio though, because like, I don't know, like, my only experience of a Scorpio is my dad. They're hard to come by. I don't know what it is. I seem to just know the same few zodiac signs. Like, it's like, you know, Pisces, Leo, Gemini, Cancer, and Capricorn. They're like the only ones that I really have in my life, and they've always seemed to really be attracted to me, like, not even just like romantically, but I mean just like in general, in friendships, etc. Like, I've not had a lot of experience with some of the star signs. Anyways, I'm just waffling now. This is why I really shouldn't drink wine while I'm filming a video. I've become such a lightweight, I feel, in like the last year. I don't know what it is, because I didn't drink for like months and months and months. I didn't drink at all, and it wasn't like on purpose. Well, it kind of was on purpose. I feel like because I didn't drink for such a long time, once I started drinking again, my tolerance had just gone down so low. Like, I never drank a crazy amount. Like, I maybe had my 1 or 2 years. This is actually going on to the next assumption. You were a wild child when you were 18/19. Yes. Actually, no. That's wrong. I'd say when I was 17, 18, not 18, 19. I'd say I had my wild child years when I was, 17, 18. I feel like most people do have their wild child years, but I feel like most people have them for a lot longer than I had them, like, compared to people that I would personally know. Mine didn't last very long. I feel like I'm not able, you know, when you wake up and you just have the fear and you're like, oh my god, what did I do last night? I cannot deal with that. Like, my brain, my delicate little soul is not able for the level of stress that causes me, because I'm such an overthinker. So my head just goes into a spiral. So I kind of feel like that's why, like, my wild child years were very, like, short and sweet. And then it was just enough to, like, scar me for the rest of my life. And I didn't need any more wild child years. The next assumption is you don't talk to your brother. So this is not true. Okay, so like, I've got a brother. Some of you guys might not even be aware of this. My brother, his name is Andrew. So Andrew and Melanie have the same dad, and then I have a different dad. So like, I'm my dad's only child, and then we all have the same mum. But no, I do talk to my brother. I actually get on really well with my brother. And like, I'd see him anytime I'm up in the scaries or whatever. But yeah, we do talk. He's just not a social media kind of person. Like, he doesn't even have an Instagram or anything. And the last assumption I'm going to answer for today is you have 6 figures in your bank account. No, this is not true. I wish this was true. hopefully one day, but not today. So guys, that is the end of me answering your guys' assumptions. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I love these kinds of videos, but I feel like I get myself in trouble because I just waffle. Like, I just keep going on and on and on, and it's like, Jessica, you're saying too much. I'm just here like editing the video like, can't you just like shut your mouth for 2 minutes, woman? Thank you guys so very much for watching. I love you all so very much, and I cannot wait to see you all in my next video. Bye!